What's going on, guys? Zeros here, and today I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna switch gears and talk about a video game. Alright, so as you guys know, a couple days ago, at least to the recording of this video, Halo 5 dropped. Right? Halo 5 Guardians dropped, and at first I thought about picking it up, but then I realized that it was like it had no split screen, so I was like, I am not spending $60 per game that I cannot play with my friends. Fuck that shit. So I might pick it up when the price drops. I don't know, but I didn't want to pick up the game. So that kind of leads me to this, because I played Halo 4, so and I already knew what the story was, right? So then I was like, well, but I mean, I want to know what happens next. I want to know what happens after Halo 4. I waited what 2-3 years for this shit. So I watched all the cutscenes from Halo 5 Guardians, and that's what led me to want to make this video, to kind of talk about this. So before I get into the meat of the matter, I'll just tell you my overall thoughts of the Halo 5 story. Is the story the most original thing you've ever seen before? No, not really. And, well, to be fair, there are no more original ideas, so, I mean, you can make a whole 2-hour presentation about how every story's already been told. Alright, so for me personally, the most important thing for me is always execution. You know, was the story told very well? Did they try something new? Even though, I mean, the overall plot, you know, we've already seen it before. It's alright. It's kind of, I mean, it makes sense, kind of. Not in its entirety. There are a few plot points that don't make a lot of sense, or they don't directly lead into each other. And so I have to make an entire video talking about the story to really get in there. I'm trying to do this, you know, spoilerish, free-ish. You know, I don't want to completely ruin everything for you guys. If you do intend on picking up the game, I mean, if you're like me and you don't really care too much about spoilers and you just want to hear someone intellectually talk about things, I might make a follow-up video and talk about the story, but until now, that's what's going on. So then you had Master Chief goes AWOL for a little bit. All the trailers have shown that then Jameson Locke, the leader of Fireteam Osiris, is tasked to hunt down Master Chief. Well, as it turns out, that was only like probably 5% of the overall story. Like, you know, I think one huge problem I have with the story is the fact that the trailers and the advertisement played up this rivalry between the two main characters, and it was hardly anything there. I don't really understand why they played that up so much if that was only going to be like a small thin plot thread throughout the overarching theme. So like you didn't even get to have like a Master Chief boss fight or anything like that, or like a James boss fight. They had a cutscene where they fought each other, but it was hardly even like a real like cat and mouse rivalry. I think it would have been a lot better if they had done that and gone all cat and mouse. James is actually hunting Master Chief down. You have to find clues and get to the next part. I don't know. That's me. In hindsight, looking at the story, that's what I probably would have done, because I don't really understand the advertisement of trying to make it look like these two are really going to go head to head when they didn't. I don't know. But that's just me. So that's the story. But like I said, I'd have to make an entire video talking about the whole Halo 5 story. I don't know if anyone would want to watch that. So if you do, if I get enough people asking, I'll do it. Anyway, now to the meat of the matter. So after I got done watching all the cutscenes, I was looking back at the story, and something was kind of strange to me. It was something really weird. And what was weird, well, not even weird, actually. It kind of looked a little too perfect. Let me explain. So, in the game, you play as Jameson Locke, and you play as Master Chief. But you spend about 2/3 of the game, you're Jameson Locke. You're playing with Fireteam Osiris. And the other third of the game, you're the Master Chief and Blue Team. Right? So, majority of the time, you're with Fireteam Osiris. Now, what does Fireteam Osiris team consist of? Okay. Well, each Spartan team actually consists of 2 men and 2 women. And then, have Jameson Locke, who's a black guy. See if I can remember. There's Tanaka, which I think she might be Middle Eastern. She's not white, because she's darker than the 2 white characters. So I'm gonna go with Middle Eastern until I'm proven wrong. Then you have Olympia Vale, She's a white woman. She's about ginger. And then you have Buck, who's an older white guy, right? Now, and then Master Chief's team, I don't remember the other people's names because, unfortunately, which is very poor storytelling, they did a very bad job of differentiating character personalities with Blue Team. You only spend like 1/3 of the game with them. So, I mean, the team is carried by Master Chief because you only fucking care about Master Chief. The other 3 people, they're just there to help you out, in all honesty. So I don't remember their names. Well, I do. I remember 2 names were very feminine and 1 was a guy. That's all I remember. Right? But again, same theme. 2 men, 2 women. That's a little strange. Alright? It not even just so much strange, but really, really perfectly equal. You got that whole equality thing going on here in Halo 5. Now, the thing is and this is really what I want to talk about today when it comes to storytelling, because if the first video you've ever seen me make, then you probably have no idea what I'm alluding to right now, right? But if you've been subscribing for a while, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, I'm talking about this social justice climate, this feminist climate that we're in right now, where everything is sexist and racist, right? So, it looks like, well, not even it looks like, because these aren't very important plot threads, but to me, the reason why I made my ears perk up is it looks like a very safe story to tell. It looks like 343 was trying to avoid social justice criticism and just wanted people, I guess, to either talk about the gameplay or praise its fucking progressive-ass story. And again, you know, this is just the way I feel. And the reason why I feel this way is because, again, you have the main character being a black guy. You have a team of Spartans that's 50-50 equal. And then I'll take it another step further. You have Sarah Palmer, who's another woman who's actually in a position of power that's higher than all the other Spartans. I think she's like a commander, right? So she's cool. And then you have the doctor who created the Spartan 2 program. I forgot her name. I think like Dr. Kathleen or something. Whatever. But we'll take it a step further. Not only is she very intelligent, but at one point, at the very beginning of the game, she gets her arm cut off, right? Now we have some disabled people representation. See, I mean, I'm looking at this and there's a lot of representation. What I mean by representation are really blank characters who, more than anything, just seem to kind of exist because they needed to exist so people don't think that they're racist. You know, like a token black guy. I mean, James was the only black guy. Well, I mean, there's only like, what, 8 humans? 10 humans, technically. And even then, out of those 10 humans, you only have 1 black guy. Whatever. Point is, you had the black guy, who's pretty much, you guess you could call the main character. I mean, it's not really so much his story as it is, it's still Master Chief's story. You're just mostly playing as James, which again is another problem in the whole overarching story of the game. But you have this token black guy, you have 50-50 team of Spartans. Now I guess I can stop right there to explain. It does make sense. So the whole female Spartan thing is not really about should women be in combat. That's not even relevant because when we take all the schematics of what a Spartan is in the Halo universe, they are equal. There's nothing wrong with them biologically. I mean, they're super soldiers. 1. 2, they all wear titanium armor. 3, they all wear titanium armor with an energy shield that protects them. So they're perfectly fine. It's not really that this is unrealistic. That's the last thing to be talked about. And first of all, most video games aren't realistic anyway. So what? That's not the point. It's perfectly equal is really the point. Because to me, the question I'm asking myself is, you know, is this the story 343 wanted to tell, or is this the story they were forced to tell to avoid the social justice, feminist bullshit? Because the story is really safe with the characters, okay? Right? It seems too perfect to me when it comes to social justice warrior criticism. You have the black guy representation, you have some Middle Eastern woman representation, you got old people representation, you got white women representation. You got all these representations, but they're such bland characters. They just seem to be more placeholders than anything. You have the disabled woman characterization, right? And then I don't want to spoil the story too much, but I could take it a step further. But I'm not going to, because I don't know if you people watching still want to play it and still want the whole story for yourself. You know, so I'm just only going to talk about, again, what was advertised and what we know. Or what doesn't break the game's story. Even though it's still a little all over the place. So, That's the thing, right? Because, and this is just me, I'm not really here to try to convince you of anything. I just want to put this thought out there, because I don't know if we're going to see a lot more of this. I don't know, maybe 343 did want to do this. Maybe this had no influence from feminists and social justice, and I'm just, being hypercritical of something. It's entirely possible. But I think I think that's the problem here. The fact that I'm being hypercritical. That I can't trust people wanting to tell their own stories because there's been such a push and such a fuss about a lack of representation. And there's been such a push to make things equal and how women are all sexy and really bad in video games. I mean, you have Anita Sarkeesian, right? Talking out of her ass about how all these different things are sexist. Having influence on video games. I don't know if Anita Sarkeesian's criticism got 343. It could have. I don't know. And that's the problem. Because, again, the ultimate problem is, I don't know if this is the story they wanted to tell or the story they were forced to tell because they wanted to play it safe and they didn't want to get any stupid sexism criticism. Maybe. Again, there's one plot that I could really go to, but I don't want to. I don't want to spoil it, unfortunately. But I guess you know what? How about this? Spoiler alert, okay? So if you don't want to get spoiled, skip this point in the video, and then I'll probably be done by then. Alright, so, you've been warned. So, guess what? At the end of Halo 4, Cortana did not die. Instead, she was stuck on the didactic ship. She got crash landed on this planet called Genesis, and then she got upgraded. She was able to fix the problems that was in her programming because she was too old technically. So she fixed all of that, and then she became a super omni AI program that gained control of these Forerunner beings called Guardians. Well, they're not beings, but they look like beings. They're like gigantic, powerful ships. The whole point of the Guardians is to enforce law and order in the universe because they're super big, powerful weapons. That's when the Forerunners made them. I think they made the Guardians before they made Halo because it seems strange they'd create a gigantic, massive, universe-destroying ring and then make Guardians. So I think the Guardians are older than the Halo rings. I could be wrong there. Again, stories all over the fucking place. So basically, Cortana, and the reason why I said the story isn't really so original is because Cortana is pretty much doing the whole benevolent totalitarian thing. She thinks she's making the world, the universe, a better place by holding everyone at the end of the barrel of a gun. So it's a story we've already seen before. So, yeah. Now, the thing I'm talking about, and this is going to make me sound, like a pervert, but it is a still important plot thread when you add everything together. Alright, so Cortana's design has always been, like really, sexy or like, like naked. Not really, because I'm referring to her as a she. I'm using she pronouns, but technically speaking, she doesn't have a gender because she's a program. So technically, but it makes it easier to talk about her. See, I'm still doing it. So Cortana now is no longer in her, like naked design. Now she's like wearing armor, like she's covered up now, and that's a really small point. It's not like super important, right? But the thing that is important is not only is Cortana. Cortana was the main character in Halo 4. She's pretty much the main antagonist here in Halo 5. So you have a female pretty much stealing the whole show, right? Now she is one of the most important aspects. Well, she's always been, but now she's the main antagonist, She's the main force you have to stop. I guess now in Halo 6 when it comes out. So you have, not only do you have a lot of female characters, the female characters actually outnumber the male characters in the game. You not only have that, you have Cortana, no longer is she naked or sexualized. So you take that out, there's no more sexualization of Cortana, or at least not as she was, like in Halo 4. So you take that aspect out, you add in the super equal teams of Fire Team Osiris and Blue Team. You take out, everyone's being equal, you take out, you have again, Sarah Palmer, the commander, who's in a very high position of power. The doctor, I still can't remember her name, who created the Spartan 2 program and now is disabled. You have disabled representation. You have James Locke, who's a black guy. You have black people representation. You have Middle Eastern with Tanaka. You have all these different elements. And again, the characters are so fucking bland, they just look like placeholders. When you add all of this up, I don't know. It looks like a social justice warrior feminist dream story, And I think that's the problem. It could have been what 343 wanted to show, But because there's so much shit about representation and so much stuff about sexism and all of that in video games, a part of me can't trust the story to be that's what 343 wanted. And I think that's really the problem. I think this is a symptom of all of the shit that a lot of video game players have to deal with, that a lot of people in general have to deal with their stories and with the things that are being told. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the guys on Master Chief's team ended up being gay. I wouldn't be shocked, because that's the only element they're missing right now. They don't have like a lesbian or gay character, but it's like they went on this social justice checklist and like black character, strong women in powerful position, another strong woman who is the main antagonist. Okay, alright, 50-50 team, everyone's equal. That's what it looks like to me. And again, I could be blowing out hot air, this could be bullshit, and I could have wasted everyone's time, but that's what I was thinking about. So, hopefully I've given you guys something to think about. If not, then I'll try again in the next video. So with that being said, man, I certainly hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And if you did, man, go ahead and click that like button. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Comment in the comment box below. And as always, have a great day. I will see you cool cats soon. Adios.